All right, what's up everybody? We're gonna be doing another battle report. We've got some sisters versus Tau today. We're gonna shake it up and we are going to start with the terrain and the mission and everything like that. And then we'll go over our armies right after that. Huge shout outs to the Army Painter, one of our major sponsors supporting the National Tabletop League. If you wanna see any of the team events that we are doing, go to the nationaltabletopleague.com. You can look at for all the links in the description below for everything we are doing. You've got a big announcement that we did last week for Dreamhack Atlanta. They are bringing Warhammer to Dreamhack Atlanta. So if you'd like to play in teams or in singles, make sure to go check that out. All the links will be in the description below. So without further ado, we are playing Search and Destroy, Raise Banners, and Linchpin. So standard Search and Destroy. Raise the Banners is going to be battle line units can do an action and they can get extra victory points, like the old Raise the Banners secondaries basically, and they can get you extra points tacked onto your secondaries. And then this one here is you have to hold your home objective for the other ones to be worth more. So you hold your home objective. All the ones that are not your home are worth 5 and your home is worth 3. If you don't hold your home, everything is worth 3. This does not cap it all. Huge thing to know. You can just be like 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. You can get a lot of points in this. We are playing on the GW layout number 4. We just rolled this randomly. So with Search and Destroy, you can kind of see where this is. You've got some good staging points and hiding points there. These are really nicely placed on this table layout. You can just basically hold these in both corners really, really safe. From this side, you're very exposed here in the middle, obviously, but it's kind of nice having a corner. In a lot of layouts, you don't always have hiding holes in these corners, so it's pretty cool. So that's the board right there. All right, no making fun of my stuff not being painted, guys and girls. I'm trying to just show you different, crazy, weird stuff. Let's get this out of the way. Everything will get painted. I'm jamming. We're trying to get stuff a little bit prettier. When I put the pendant stuff here, that'll all be painted because that's what I had done. So we're playing Army of Faith. So we're going a little bit different here. This is pretty gnarly combos that are in this list. So let's go over it. So you've got a Rhino. Woo, a Rhino. You've got 3 Emulators. All right. Inside the Emulators, you will have 1 Dominion squad, 2 Dominion squads, and a Battle Sister squad that will split up. So let's go over then kind of what happens there. This Dominion squad is going to split up. There's going to be a Dialogus inside with the Meltas. This Dominion squad is going to split up. There will be a Dialogus inside with the Meltas. The Sister squad splits up. There's going to be a Dialogus and a Palatine in with the ones with the Meltas. So now what these combos kind of do in the Army of Faith is you can use 2 Miracle Dice on every single unit. So you're going to, and the way the Dialogus rule reads is it says each time you use an Act of Faith, turn it to a 6. So you're going to use 1 and it's the first time you used it, you're going to turn it to a 6. Then you're going to do an Act of Faith again. It's the first time you used it, you're going to turn it to a 6. So it doesn't say the first time you use it per phase or anything like that. It just says each time you use it, turn it to a 6. So you're going to get to basically take 2 dice on these Meltas and be like, here's, a bunch of damage. Here's auto wounds and saves you have to take. So you can kind of play with that. And then here, because the Palatine gives them a lethal, you can use 2 dice to be 6s and give them lethals. So it's just really good auto Melta saves that people have to take. Or if you slow roll it, you can put a lot of damage on there if you can use the dice for that as well. So you don't need the 6s for these, right? Like you can use 1s and 2s because you're changing them to 6s. So really, really cool. And then every time, the first time you use it on these squads, they're going to recycle 1. So it's really cool. You're going to use 2, you're going to get 1 back. You're going to use 2, you're going to get 1 back. So really good, just like first time punching. Then we've got Meltas on all the Emulators today. We've got 3 squads of, oh my gosh. I would say Volguns, but they're not Volguns. What are the war suits called? Whatever, they're suits. 3 squads of 3 suits, all Melta, all grenade launchers, all swords. One of those will go with Vol. And then you've got the Triumph over here. Triumph doing Triumph things. So, and then we'll finish. I'll go over the rest. So these guys are just really good because, especially against Tau, not tailoring this, just trying. They're going to hit on 2s and they're going to wound on 2s. all the stuff Tau. So like those things are just really good into this matchup specifically. So they don't really need dice to function. All these other squads can use dice to function. And then Triumph is going to give me an auto 6 every turn. And then one of my canonists is going to try to pass her leadership to give me a dice. So if you're on an objective, you can roll for a 4-up. You can get one by passing a leadership. You can get your auto 6 there, and you can get one for your turn. And then when these squads go out and one guy dies, you get you're going to get more and more dice. You use strats. I can be like, hey, let's give extra AP on this Melta thing. You just have to kill a model to get a dice. So I can use a CP to basically generate a miracle dice. Use a CP to generate a miracle dice. So it's kind of cool with Lance and with the AP. That also comes in with like Vol Squad. If I use the Lance and the AP, I kill 2 models, I'm going to get 2 dice. And if Vol kills, a unit, the last model in that unit, I'll get another dice. So there's a lot of really cool ways to generate dice here. They are kind of tricky. So then the last thing that we did to round this off is we did 2 Canuses. So these 2 Canuses, one is going to be sitting in my backfield, kind of just trying to pass leadership to give me extra dice. The other one is going to YOLO forward out of the Rhino and do a bunch of damage. Now, what's really cool about them with their combos is they have the grenade keyword, so they can do a lot of damage with that. They could grenade for free. They can do extra AP for free. They can do Lance for free if they want to. So they've got a lot of really cool things that they can do there. They get Heroic for free. So they're kind of really good just one-shot damage dealers. So you can go out, you can grenade, you can shoot with your Melta pistol, then you can charge and fight something as well. So it's really cool. And because you can use 2 miracle dice, you're hitting on a 2. You can use a miracle dice to wound, and you can use a miracle dice, if you have a 6 for an automatic 5 damage out of her little Melta pistol. So they can put out a lot of damage, and then they have their 2-up invulns. They can just tank a lot of shots. So if it ties something up, it can tank a lot of bullets. So a little bit different. We'll see how much miracle dice I can generate and kind of how it goes. But let's go see what Joe is going to be rocking on the Tau today.
Tau fans, it is time for the Retaliation Cadre. Thank God Papa GW decided to buff my sweet, beautiful boys. I am so excited to play this army. I just went like all the way into battle suits. Like, how many battle suits can you take? All of them. How many commanders can you take? Every single one. And we have stealth suits because, you gotta have stealth suits. We've got 3 squads of stealth suits, max every unit, every variant of crisis battle suit that you can have. And the variations that I've set up are the yellow guys here are flamer suits. That same variation I've just switched to burst suits with a burst commander. And then I have all missile in the middle here and all fusion in the back. I have 7 commanders scattered throughout the army. So we have Farsight here leading one of the flamer squads because I think it's really strong to have his +1 to wound. The changes to how free strats work, super impactful for Tau, especially with Farsight, because he can 3-inch deep strike for 1 CP now, which is really, really strong. So couple that with his +1 to wound for the flamers, and flamers suddenly just become strength 5 in Retaliation Cadre and have +1 to wound. So really, really dangerous shooting here. The boards are interesting, so we're going to see how this actually plays out in the game today. But I love this list. It's only 12 activations, but everything is a crisis suit. Everything has a marker light too, which is pretty cool. So super excited to see how it goes. We'll come back for mission and deployments.
All right, so we've deployed. We'll kind of go over what's going on. I'm going first. I've not done any of my scout moves yet. So I deployed this here so I can either scout backwards if I went second, or I can be aggressive with it and I can come kind of start getting some control over here. The Rhino is just here. It can move like all the way up into this building and stage. It can just go to here to stage if it wants to. Don't know what we're doing there. Screen out this so you can't just come here and just nuke her. I want her to stay alive as long as possible to give me more miracle dice. And then Triumph was just being safe. If I was out here with it at all, you could have just kind of like missiled her or bursted her on turn 1, and I really need her to generate stuff for the first few turns. I didn't really want Vol on the table. I chose to put the 2 other suits off the table because in this match, all 3 suits kind of act the same. So we put Vol on, assuming if he wants to come kill her, he can come kill her. So on this first turn, we're just going to run her as far up this way as possible. And we're just going to like threaten that. We're just going to try to push this side of the board right now and just scout up really, really strong. So I'm going to start doing that. Joe, you want to just go over what's off the board for you and what you got on the board?
Yeah, for sure. So I've got quite a bit off the board. I have Farsight in his Flamer squad. I have an Enforcer with his Melta squad. I have an Enforcer with a Missile squad. And then I have a Cold Star with Fusion off the board. And then for me, I've just kind of like staged like relatively aggressively. Basically, like I made it so that if Brad pushes here, he just gets overwatched with Flamers. And then I've just given him choices. The whole list has marker lights. So like my stealth suits are valuable, but I think if I can force an initiation to kill a 60-point unit and just get clapped back with essentially like multiple trading pieces, I'm okay with that. So I've played them like pretty aggressively, but we'll see if that was a mistake or not. All right, guys. So that movement phase took forever. I basically picked up this squad. I drew Extend and Overwhelming Force. Obviously, Brad's not going to give me any Overwhelming Force that I can actually do on turn 1. So we just counted our CP up, and we pushed the Missile Squad to here. It's probably going to be a trading piece, but I think like this is like a pretty cheap squad, and you know if it forces him out with you know a Melta squad, then I can just kill pretty trivially. I think it's like a pretty good thing. So I'm okay with this here. These scouts or these stealth suits have just kind of moved up here to potentially charge there and move block. We've backed up with the burst squad to not be seen or shot by anything so that they can kind of stage. We've moved these stealth suits up to be providing some additional support. And then we have the missile squad just kind of staged here. Oh, and I actually got Extend with the stealth suit squad because I think it kind of forces him out to come and shoot them on weird angles and draws some of this stuff that's kind of castled over here in. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I've stopped primary and I've scored my cards. And Brad has picked fixed, so he has to be the aggressor here, which I think is to my advantage. And I'm playing towards that. So it should be an interesting turn.
Okay, so it's turn to not go as planned. I'm probably gonna get clapped really hard in this next turn now. So I just went into this guy with this tank here. I missed both my Melta shots. They couldn't clean them up in combat. He rapid ingressed right here. Stay outside of some charges. Took the shots from this. Nothing happened though. If I would have picked up, 1 or 2 suits, it would have been okay. I'm just chilling over here in this corner. See what happens. See if I could hold some primary. If he wants to come on there, he can try. He can do whatever he wants. Made it so he can't 3-inch deep strike on this objective. He can still come in here and he can fire and fade if he wants. He did use 2 CP over here to auto blow up these suits to try to take this emulator because it has 1 wound in his turn. We didn't even go over this. He shot this with fusion. Did 8 wounds to it. Then burst cannons did 2. Then they fought it in combat, did another 1. I passed to just make sure I passed here. I was thinking about auto exploding it and then just taking primary points. But I decided not to. Cannonist came out, killed them in combat. We just failed at shooting. The Dominion squad shot at these suits. Really, really cool thing here. So here's what transpired. I got 3 hits. I got 3 wounds. I used 2 dice to turn them to 6s. I used their cherub, and I also gave them more AP so he couldn't get a save. And I killed a model, so I got a dice there. So I used 2 dice. I got 2 dice back. I'm sitting on 4 6s and a 1 right now. Unfortunately, then I rolled 4 on the damage of the next one. And this guy didn't die, and then I missed with my last Melta pistol. So didn't go too swimmingly there. I missed out on 4 secondary points. So yeah, we'll see what he's going to get here and what's going to happen. He has a pretty big opening to. Okay.
All right, guys. So lots of movement here. So we'll start over here. So I moved these guys back this way to be able to shoot down this line into these girls here, so they can get spotted by the Flamer squad that's over here. But I also can they just are going to have hit rerolls, so they'll hit on the commanders will hit on 3s. the missiles will hit on 4s, and I think I just like weight of dice over there. The advantage to spotting from this point is just the ignore cover, and everything has a marker light, so there's some like positives that come from that. So hopefully I can just wipe that squad, so I take away a scoring element. I've positioned here to do a couple of different things. I'm going to be able to spot with this guy here to, into the character to go for her potentially, and then just have this whole squad shoot here. This squad is going to flame.
Because you picked assassinate and mark for death.
Yeah, I picked assassinate and mark for death. That's
2 assassinates there. These 3 things are the marked, so he's just leaving the mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna dump the mark for CP. So the plan is I want to kill as much of this as I can. I've positioned to be able to have 1 fusion suit and then Farsight shoot here. So if I get lucky, I'm gonna have to hit on 5s because I have to. This stealth suit that survived is gonna mark for this squad so that they can hit on 3s and reroll 1s, and the commander can hit on 2s and reroll 1s. So I just make sure I kill the immolator, and then I have Farsight squad that jumped in within 3 to be able to flame the girls that get out, but also these chicks here. So it's a pretty aggressive push. I've got extra AP and extra strength on like everything, so we should be pushing pretty hard here. But
yeah,
let's see what happens.
So good things and bad things happen. He killed the squad that was here. He got his assassinate, killed the immolator, charged here. He split fire with these guys into the immolator that was here and the rhino. Didn't kill either one. So then the squad at 3-inch had to finish off the immolator. They flamed the girl squad that was here. He then moved them. They're 10 inches away. These guys charged here. Nothing happened there, but he's just trying to basically get away from where my suits are over here, so that he's trying to make it so where this squad lives. So kind of annoying. Yeah, she did her 2-up invuln. She passed all the saves. I had to use dice there. I used dice to keep the immolator alive. A lot of dice was used. A lot of dice was gained. He scored his assassinate. He's tossing his mark for death. I'm going to have to kill a lot of stuff this turn, or it's about to be real bad, because I've killed nothing. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so this is the end of my turn 3. So I brought in these guys over in this corner here. They were able to shoot. They made a 9-inch charge onto there. I used a 6, so I just needed a 3. I rolled a 4. So they did really good there. Took us home objective. So I'm going to put him on 0 primary. So it's a really big swing. Really good for me. Stayed in combat here with the rhino. Squad got out here. We tried to shoot at these guys. We just full send whiffed everything. The single guy died here. We went into combat there. We killed 1 suit, another whiff. I was hoping that I was going to get at least 2 of these guys here. So that's an upswing there. These guys are still alive. Really good job charging backwards into this and getting away from my suits and making it to where I wasn't charging. I was counting on these suits here, shooting a squad and fighting another squad. So my plan was this squad dead and then half of that other squad dead. Killed all Farsight squad. It took these guys shooting, Immolator shooting, her charging. Vol and the guys in the back there picked up the squad that was over here, came in here, killed a stealth suit. So he's got this fusion squad. He's got another fusion squad with a commander off the table, a 3. Do they both have commanders? Mm-hmm. So he's got 3 full fusion squads alive, a missile squad. These 2 guys that are in combat, they can't fall back and shoot at all.
No.
Right. But they can just shoot into combat because they're vehicles, so bye-bye. And then he's got a burst squad here. So I picked up a bunch on secondaries. We'll see what that is. But I think this is kind of unfortunate. He doesn't really want to put a resource back there to deal with them. I used so many dice. I had, I think, 12 or 15 dice.
Oh, they can fall back and shoot.
They can?
Yeah. They have battlesuit support systems. That's like actually hilarious.
That's that. I mean, I'm just kind of controlling this. We'll see where he brings in these other melta-suits to reinforce stuff. These guys cannot fall back and shoot them.
No.
So those guys are stuck there, which is good. So yeah, we'll see. See what he does. It's a good one. Okay, so here's what Joe did. He got containment, and bring it down. So he picked up the Rhino here. These guys moved further away. It's just kind of kite me. Put the burst guys into all these guys here. The Palatine stayed alive. The Canonist died to these guys. They're doing the action for him. Then he brought in three. The burst just backed up there in case they didn't die, so you can get that objective for me. Bursted them. Went in here. I overwatched here, and I used 2 of my dice to try to kill suits. It was a mistake because if I would have had one of those dice alive, I would have saved 1 suit, and I would have denied him 2 points and bring it down. And then I would have just had a guy right there. And that one guy right there, I mean, could just do damage and like tie these up and stuff like that and just be really annoying. So that's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, he's got 4 on bring it down, 3 on containment. I'm going to pick up 8 on my primary here, which is pretty good for me. He's just going to try to deny me secondaries now, so we'll see what he can do. All right, so at the end of my turn, I just kind of staged everything so that I staged here. I staged here so he can't take that and I at least get points. I staged here so if he comes to middle, I could overwatch or charge him. Or if he doesn't come to middle, then the next turn I can put everything that and that on mid and try to make it hard for him to get primary. So he came here, I overwatched, I killed the 3-man suit squad, so I got 4 more points on my secondary, so that was really, really big. 4 points that I didn't think I was going to have. So he brought the melty guys in here too, so he's going to try to shoot this at Vol. These guys are here. He sees with the commander and 1 guy here. He's going to spot with these guys. We'll see how many of these he kills, and we'll see how many there. I wish I had a CP for -1 to hit, but I don't. Vol's heavy bolter in these 2 games, once they all exploded. 6 shots turned into 12, and then I just got 4 on Overwatch and turned into 8 and 8 wounds, so it was really good. And then two meltas and a missile also hit, so really good Overwatch. So let's see what damage he does and if I could prevent him from scoring on the last turn.
They're going to come get
All right. That did not go how Joe
Torchstar
needed it to
Gambit.
go at all.
2, by the way.
Go ahead. He's going to move these guys out of the way. He killed 2 suits. Live on 1 there. We're going to come get some booties. Over here, just did 2 damage. The 2 dice, saving with 2 dice, if you have them in the bank, it is just really good. So just being able to be like, oh, your meltas went through. Pass a couple, pass 2 more automatically. Pass a couple, pass 2 automatically. It's just really good. All right, so we are wrapping this up. This guy fell back. I overwatched him. I got 1 6 through only. Passed his save. Unfortunate. I needed those points to bring it back to a 10-10. He got recover assets and defend stronghold. So he had 3-inch deep strikes right here. That guy misplaced. 3-inch deep strikes on this. I could have prevented it. I didn't, so that cost me the 10-10. So he takes that. He does recover here. He does recover there. He gets 6 on recover, 3 on defense stronghold, and then he gets 13 on the primary. So huge swing. It went from a 12-8 to an 11-9 in his favor. So really big swing right there in his favor. Overall, really good game. This could go very volatile in either thing. All the dice manipulation is crazy. It's really good. Bring Our Flames is still really good with the advancing and shooting. So we're going to have to test this more and more. I do like these suits, though, especially into the vehicles. They're just really good. They are hard to kill when you have multiple dice with them. -1 to hit. And the other attachment, you can make them armor or contempt. Joe, how'd you feel about your suits, man?
So I like the list a lot. Like, I think it's really strong. I wasn't super impressed with the missile squads, and I feel like it's kind of like a waste to have characters with them. So I don't know. I think we go back to the drawing board, but I think this archetype is really good. Like, I think it has a lot of legs, and it's just a lot of wounds to chew through. It does like really strong damage. It's like good consistent damage, which is like, I feel like sometimes like hard to come by in Tau. It's like sometimes with some of the lists, it's like death by 1,000 cuts, and this is like really like, no, if you have vehicles, I just kill you with the fusion squads. The uppy downy's cool. 3-inch deep strike. It ticks a lot of the boxes for me, like mentally, I think, coming from Grey Knights especially. But I got really lucky in this game. Like, I think to Brad's point, like it can go sideways like really fast with this matchup. And I think if you have the profiles to just like, destroy T5 bodies, it can get tabled really quickly because it just doesn't have saves outside of the fusion squads.
I mean,
but-
the miracle dice doesn't help you either.
Yeah,
I got to wound, you're dead. I got to wound, you're dead. I got to wound, you're dead. So.
It didn't feel good. It's just like suits just die. But I think it's like it definitely. I think we definitely go back to the lab with it. But this is I'm 100% taking Tau to ATC, and I kind of want to take a variation of this build. We'll just have to come to what it is. But good game though.
Awesome, yeah, good game. 11-9 to the Tau. I have been defeated in the new codex for the first time.
I feel
Darn it.
I feel honored.
Darn it!
But I also I got really lucky. So
That's all good. I mean, yeah, good pulls at the end there.
Yeah.
Great game. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you on the next one.